You are now listening to a proud member of the Disney Podcast family. Go to DizPodcastFamily.com to find more on this show and other great Disney podcasts.
All personnel, clear the launch platform.
The Leaving Today podcast, the show about the news, history, and attractions of the Disneyland Resort.
Well, come on, Wendy. Let's go.
But where are we going?
To Neverland.
Neverland.
Well, hello, and hello. Welcome to the Leaving Today podcast. This is actually episode number 134. The previous one, I mentioned it was 134. I was not in my right mind. So this is actually episode number 134. We have some new listeners. So, hey, thank you for joining us.
Yep.
We find you. We will tell you the water will be very warm here. And
You
will find it to be very warm here. So welcome. And if this is not your first time listening, welcome home. We're glad you're here.
Bienvenido.
We are glad that you are spending some of your time with us. We know there's a lot of options out there for Disneyland content.
Not really.
Not really?
No, I'm kidding.
Well,
Yeah.
there's quite a few, but, you know, you got to stick with the consistent ones, and I think we're pretty consistent. Mm-hmm. Try to deliver the goods. Yeah, so tonight, well, my name is Mark. I'm one of the co-hosts here. Jess is actually working tonight. She got called in, which is good because she likes to work.
Yeah.
So that's good. But she was honestly planning on being here,
Yeah.
and she will be here next time. Sitting to what?
No, we all have that in common, that we all like to work.
We all
We're
like to.
kinda-
Yes, we're
kind of bad with that.
that rare breed of people who like to work.
Like, hey, you got to go to work. All right. Now go make money.
Go make money. That person's the voice you hear out of your right speaker or left speaker. Actually, it's a stereo, so you're going to hear it both. It is the drum master of puppets himself, Udi.
Good evening.
Good evening, sir. Okay, so tonight we're going to cover the news. We're also going to have a little bit of additional thoughts regarding their recent trip to the Magic Kingdom. The original Magic Kingdom, it used to be called that. Now when I say that, like my daughters go, "Oh, Disney World?" No, but both are right. They don't recognize Anaheim anymore as Magic Kingdom. Tonight's show is brought to you by you guys of the Patreon listeners, Patreon supporters. If you'd like to get involved with that, we make it really easy. Just go to leavingtodaypodcast.com, click on the Patreon logo, and we make it really simple. We've got a $1, a $3, and a $5 tier. It can be a one-time payment or a recurring payment. And for that, you get to be on the show, and you get a cool T-shirt and whatever else we can muster up for you.
Yeah, we have...
All kinds of things.
Yeah, currently we have a little gift for our longtime Patreons.
And, yes.
That are APs.
That are APs or legacy
Yeah.
APs.
If you are, you know how to get a hold of us.
Yes, we have a gift for you. A special gift for you.
Limited, though. We do not have a ton.
No.
Yeah.
And what else? We also have some really cool swag on TeePublic, which all this stuff is all these links are available on leavingtodaypodcast.com, and also on our Instagram. We have a link tree, and everything we do is on there as well. So go check it out. That'd be great. Okay, so tonight's opening question. We are recording this show Thursday, May 27th, 2021. Which is 44 years to the day that Space Mountain first launched us into orbit.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Space Mountain. So tonight's question is, Udi, what is your favorite memory of Space Mountain? or a couple memories. We did. I remember we did mention
Go ahead.
Space
No.
Mountain was. Remember we did way back. We were talking about the attractions that people, well, when they pass away and they're in ashes, they want to be dumped. Like they want to be dumped on pirates or whatever, on a mansion. Well, we came up with a list of attractions that you definitely don't want to be dumped on, and Space Mountain is one of
them. And if you are a person who's going to dump said ashes, please don't ride up front.
No, I cannot. How horrible would that be if we're in the back screaming? And
there are maybe a handful of things that would get me to react to a point where I'd get removed from that park.
Yeah,
that would be one.
Oh, that's a very reasonable. And I would ask for my money back. Wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. There's just no excuse for that. Yeah. Anyways, okay. So let's talk about favorite memories of Space
I have kind of an evil one, and that's why I was kind of.
Ooh, is it about Ghost Galaxy?
No.
Oh.
At one point in time, I for everybody who doesn't know, I was married at one point in time.
Yes.
Yeah. So Mark saw. Where are you going with this?
Here we go with this.
And not to be sound atypical.
Yeah.
But my mother-in-law at the time didn't really like me. I think I'm a great guy, but hey, nobody can always be as discerning as me. But anyway, so we're at Disneyland with the family, and I'm like, hey, I want to go on Space Mountain. So my wife, all down, my father-in-law, my ex-father-in-law now, obviously. Okay, let's go. He's a cool cat. I like him.
Okay.
He's the one guy who I'd be like, how you doing? The rest of the family? Well, and two other people. But anyway, I'm not going to go into big long.
Space Mountain, let's go.
Space Mountain. Focusing back in. So we get in line. My ex-mother-in-law was very trepidatious. Like, I don't know. I'm like, you're going to be fine. You're going to be fine. Oh, she had no business being on that attraction.
But she had never been on it before?
Never.
Okay.
I'm like, you're going to be fine. You're going to be fine. And I don't know. Nah, we're doing the whole coaxing like we do. But being that I knew her, I'm like, oh, she's going to die on this attraction. She's going to freak out. We get on it, and I'm like, oh, sit with me. Up front. So, yeah, we rode on that ride, and she about died. She came up. I'm like, how you doing? I'm good. I'm like, hair blown back, and I'm like, that's a bad thought. I'm sorry, but I couldn't help that. I don't know why that came into my mind. Just because, you have those people who freak out over certain attractions, and for the most part, most people don't have a reason to freak out. But there's that fringe few that, like, now you probably shouldn't get on this one because that may not be good for you. You may have a very bad time on that. Yeah, but that was mean. It was kind of mean. But, anyway. On a positive note, I think, well, maybe because it is the most recent and because of everything we went through, the one that Jess and I went on our last trip. Mm-hmm. And I know that might be a little bit like, well, duh, But, given everything that we've been through over the year and everything I've been through lately, it was good. Again, having that return to home and then being able to get onto Space Mountain, just ride, and just throw my hands up and yell and scream and have fun. Mm-hmm. And it would be that. And trying to think of one other one. But those two pop in my head. The first one was just because I can be a jerk sometimes, but I meant it in a good way. And then the other one, yeah, definitely coming back home and being able to ride it again. So yeah, I think that will be the two that I can think of right now.
Nice. I think one of the things that I like about Space Mountain is that I like knowing that I've got, and I mentioned this before, that there's a I have like a 9:30 or 9:45 fast pass for it at night, and I can plan my evening around. Okay, it's at 9:30 I got to head over there and hang out in Tomorrowland, and So that Space Mountain is something that I always like having in my back pocket. Like, oh yeah. So I think in 2019 when we were there, was there with my daughters. We were there for May the 4th. We got there the 3rd, 4th, and 5th. But the 3rd, in the afternoon, in the morning, they had it Space Mountain regular setup, and we had gone on that and had a great time. But in the evening, they converted it over to Hyperspace Mountain. So we got to ride it again.
Ah, cool.
The same day, but 2 different formats. And I was
Very
like,
cool.
wow, that's kind of odd that we got to do that. So I was happy about that. But, I mean, I still like the original version better than Ghost Galaxy and definitely better than Hyperspace Mountain.
Really? Why?
I just think the original is best.
Well, because is it the music?
It could be the music.
Lack of lighting or the more subdued lighting because you have a little bit more of a sense of mystery. Well, the original has a lot more of that kind of stars.
Yeah.
And then they kind of, I will give it that because it kind of goes on the actual ride track a little bit more. And it's odd, like you kind of illuminated, but it's not.
Right.
I can get that.
And I was just sort of thinking that the Hyperspace Mountain, it could have been more.
I agree. No, I agree.
Yeah.
I mean, I enjoy it for, I mean, you know why, but
Yeah.
it could be more.
Yeah, I hate being that way. Like, well, this is cool, but it could be a whole lot better. I mean, it's cool that we got it, and cool. It's great that they've got the technology to convert it quickly like that.
Yep.
But it's it's one of those things that no matter what party of what group of people I'm with, everybody is pumped to go on it. There's no hesitation. Like, no, but this is like everyone's like a high five and laughing, and it's just one of those things where it's great. It's a good.
Okay, so I'm gonna jump in real quick.
Yeah.
If people are wondering, the COVID protocol on hyperspace on Space Mountain is extremely long queue line. Hopefully, by the time a lot of you are going, many of said protocols will be either gone or at the bare minimum reduced. But as it currently sits in the park, you will have a long queue line that will begin as normal. Going down that walkway right next to Piece of Port. You walk up, you go up, and then you go up on the upper deck, and you will go on that upper deck and be up there for a little while.
Does it go inside that little room thing?
No. They do have it queued up where you could. They have something else going on in there. Jess and I were looking at it, and I don't know what it is. So I can't really talk to it. So I'm not going to. But there is, if you guys go within the next few weeks, if you go right, when you go in the line for the attraction, and you're going up, take a peek to the room on your right. You'll see doors.
Yeah.
They may be open. There is a new, a big model spacecraft hanging in that room.
Yeah, I've been in there for that.
Okay, yeah. And then there's something else in there.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Kind of look like a queue line, but not exactly sure. So anyway, then you'll go all the way around. Then you'll go into the show building like we're all used to. The thing is, with everything, they're limiting time indoors for the queue, and so you will get down to the loading area pretty quick. You probably will not stop till you get to that very last button hook turn you got to do to get down to on the ramp. The very last turn you do before you get down to the actual loading area. Right there is the only real thing that is a physical barrier in the entire attraction is a row of plexiglass in that last, because that's where it goes into 2 rows. And so they're right next to each other. There's no way to distance that other than a partition.
Oh, okay.
So that one is the only thing you will notice on Space Mountain of any kind of COVID protocol.
Oh, okay.
That is it. Mm-hmm. And that one, if I had my impact driver, that would take me a good 15 minutes to tear the entire thing out. I could rip right through that and get it all out of there. So anybody, as we go along in the attraction, I'm going to just maybe throw that in there. That way you guys know what to expect if they haven't been removed by the time you go.
Okay.
Yep.
That's some good advice. Yep. Laura commented on this. She said, I always loved coming around the corner into the big loading room with the spaceship hanging from the ceiling. Mm-hmm. The people mover going by and the anticipation building.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, very good points on that. So she's throwing it back with the people mover.
The people mover.
Yeah, that's an old school reference right there.
Oh yeah. I mean, I feel sad for everybody or anybody, which is a lot of people who never, never will experience that.
But it's like, after in normal conditions, after you've been waiting for a little bit, and then you finally get your peek into the whole area where that spaceship is, and you go, okay, now what we have to do is walk down this gangway, and then we're in Space Mountain. That's always a good thing. And then Michael said, I hope I don't get into trouble, but I've been inside the control room before you take off the ride and have pictures to prove it. Okay. I've been backstage twice, but still need to get stuck inside with the lights on. Bucket list not checked off. Okay.
Well, Jess has ridden that lights on.
Yeah. And that's actually one of those... You talk about theming.
We were talking about that, by the way, but go ahead.
About what, theming there?
No, the lights on and your clearances and
oh, yeah.
How much room is in there.
Right. But if that roller coaster were like just outside in a parking lot, you wouldn't even go on that thing. You'd be like, whatever, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
But the fact that there's this complete show building built around it and a whole element, like, oh my gosh, this is the best thing ever. It plays tricks on the brain with that. Like, oh my gosh. So that's good. Very, very good theming.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so that was it. Happy birthday, Space Mountain.
Happy birthday.
Yeah.
Wait, how old?
44.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, that seems... Yeah, 44.
44.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so with that, now let's go to our news.
You listen to me now. You are talking about things that you do not understand.
Okay, so the news items, we've got a few to get through today, so let's get to it. The first news item is Disneyland and California Adventure reopening to out-of-state guests on June 15th. Park Pass reservation window now expanded to 120 days, or that's 3 months for us. Disneyland Resort will officially reopen to out-of-state guests beginning on June 15th. This update follows the announcement that the state of California will be fully reopening, clearing the way for Disneyland to change its policies. Alongside the announcement was the news that the park reservations will now be available up to 3 months in advance. The new reservation window, along with the ability to book tickets and reservation at the same time, will make it easier for guests to plan their visit. Disney reminds guests that until June 15th, all guests visiting the Disneyland Resort must be California residents visiting in groups no larger than 3 households. State of California strongly recommends that all guests be fully vaccinated or obtain a negative COVID-19 prior to entering the theme parks. In addition, all guests will be required to wear an approved face covering throughout their visit at the Disneyland Resort. All right, so that's the first news item. Some good. It's mostly good news. I mean, yeah, out of state guests coming in June 15th, and I expect they'll have zero tiers anymore. I think, right? That's what.
I don't know.
I mean, I thought they're gonna be like no restrictions.
I don't know.
You don't know.
I mean, well, no, we're in uncharted territory.
This true has not been charted.
So I don't know. I mean, I would hope. I mean, I don't know. I mean, that is all I can say. I'm not sure. Hopefully, yeah, they go. I mean, they'll probably maintain that tiering. Yeah, I would think. No reason not to, I guess. But yeah, I mean,
there's no reason not to maintain it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I thought I said fully open at the 15th.
Well, I know.
I never understand what's happening the 15th.
Well, no, and okay. I'm trying to like not run into the Rona, okay?
Sure.
Because I can full rant.
Well, we're not doing that.
Yeah,
tonight.
we're not gonna. I
Okay.
don't. This is not the arena for the full Rona rant.
Okay.
So the problem we're having, and this is pretty typical, which is because of so many things we don't know. Mm-hmm. We don't know, and people don't know how to act or what to react or how to do or what are we going to do or how do we do any of that. Because of Corona, the Rona has affected a lot of governmental agencies, and obviously not having the park open for over a year, and all these things happen because of this bug.
Right.
So now, that is what drives me crazy. I'm like, we don't know, because people are going to act in many different ways about this thing, and you literally don't know how one is going to react. One person or one business entity. Governmental agency is going to react to it from another.
Oh, yeah.
That is what I'm saying. So I have no idea.
Okay. Well, it's good news. We'll see how long the
overall good news.
The masks are going to be going.
I would hope that if the wonderful governor is saying that we can open back up June 15.
Yeah.
Then no mask restrictions. Then why would a company continue to do that? I think
I don't know
for the people who can, and this is what I said from the beginning. Once we hit this point, which we're going to hit June 15 here in California, we hit this point. If you want to wear your mask,
go ahead.
Thumb up, more power to you, man. You do your thing. We're California, man. We're very much like, hey, peace and love, brother. You do you, and that is all. I will never change my mind about that. So that's what I'm saying. I'm like, I don't see why Disney would like go. We highly recommend.
Sure.
Or like they were saying, like we highly recommend you're vaccinated, or you highly recommend you have a negative test, or if you're feeling bad. All these things are going to be recommendations. So I'm hoping that we come June 15th. A lot of this will go away. A lot of the things, and I don't think Disney will continue because I think it can scare people away. So we'll find out. We'll find out. Like June 15 is a few weeks away, and so it'll be interesting when that magic clock chimes from June 14 to 15.
Everything's better,
and then everything's better automatically.
Sure.
So we'll see.
Okay. Next news item: Disneyland Railroad reopens with altered loading procedures. Disneyland Railroad, which has changed they have changed their loading procedures. Guests can only board the Disneyland Railroad at the Mickey's Toontown station. The other stations are exit only for now. The train will stop at every station to allow guests to disembark, but they will not let you. So is that how you experienced it?
Correct, yes. The only place you can't get on this Toontown, they let you know when you're walking up to any station other than Toontown that you cannot get on. You can only disembark. At the Toontown station, they are telling everybody this is the only place you can get on, and you can only make one full trip. So if you're on the train,
when it pulls up,
if you hop on Toontown and you go all the way around, technically they can be like, ask you to get off. Jess and I, we got off because that's what we do. We're not going to. Why? We wanted to literally go down one more station to Tomorrowland.
Yeah,
but we're like, we'll walk.
Okay. Well, I think and were they only running one train?
Nope, they're running two.
Okay, well that's not a big deal.
No.
I mean, who cares about that? I mean, I would do that too if they said, "Okay, Mark, you're in charge of trains, or the railroad. How do you want to do it?" I'd probably come up with something similar. Like you can ride around once.
Yep.
And that makes sense only to allow guests to get on.
Yeah.
But I wonder, Toontown's a curious station.
You know why?
Because they want guests to go all the way.
No. Okay, here's another thing I don't know if we brought up on the last recording. What they have, because of the
room back there.
No, the limited interaction with characters. We all know when you walk into Disney and you come into Main Street and the main circle there, you will have characters walking around. You'll have Goofy, Minnie. I mean, the list goes on. You can run into characters on Main Street at any point in time during the day.
Yeah.
Now, because you cannot have the physical contact, they're like, okay, we still want to have character interactions with, especially for the kids. And this was like a good and a bad thing that I saw.
Okay.
Great that they are making it a priority to have the characters out there. Okay, so Goofy, Pluto, Minnie, Mickey. I saw Daffy.
Daffy was there.
Daffy, Donald.
Oh, okay. I was saying Daffy Duck.
I was thinking. Never mind. Donald, Daisy, and there were characters throughout. But the one thing that you could not do is come up and hug them and touch them, and like little kids,
Yep.
they see their favorite character. A lot of times they want to go run up and hug them.
Sure.
I mean, so anyway, so what they've done with the main steps that go up into the main Street station is completely blocked off because that is where the characters are. They put them because it's a multi-tiered kind of level.
Yeah.
They're there. So they're interacting with the kids, and that is the only way they can really control that there. You have the characters right when you come in, so you have them there, which is great. But then how do you control that? Then all they do is they put one barrier across that first step, then that no one can get up. And they have Sam's making sure nobody goes up there.
Sure.
So that is completely controlled. That is why you cannot get off there, because you have to come out and go down the stairs.
Okay.
So
Gotcha.
that is the only reason why. And this is and then I'll mention this real quick. It was great to see it, but also very sad because I saw, I don't know how many kids, and this is what hurt my soul.
Oh.
Coming up to the barrier, wanting to go hug Mickey, wanting to go hug, Goofy or Pluto, and not being able to. They don't know. I saw. It was probably a 4-year-old boy.
Really?
Excited to see it was Goofy. Excited to see Goofy, and I just looked over, and that is one of the things about Disney that captures all of our childhood and the inner child. So my inner child is looking at this kid, remembering that joy, and then going, but no, you can't. And I'm like, oh, like Jess and I both paused and kind of looked at it because we were heading over to DC, and we kind of paused and we kind of went like, like we're happy, and then you have that moment of like, but man. So anyway, there you go. It went a long walk for a small drink of water.
No worries. Okay. Next item is new Jungle Cruise will open at Disneyland Park July 16th. Work will be completed at Magic Kingdom Park this summer. Jungle Cruise will reopen July 16th at Disneyland with an updated experience that welcomes new characters from around the world. At Magic Kingdom, you can continue to enjoy the Jungle Cruise while updates are being made. All the changes will be completed by this summer. Progress continues at both parks as Imagineers build on the original story with new adventures that stay true to the experience. Today, Disney revealed a behind-the-look scene at the work Trader Sam's newest venture, which recently dropped in at Disneyland. Disneyland had a video on there. They don't really they don't even show you any of that stuff. It's just it's kind of. Did you see it? It's like 40 seconds of nonsense. So great. We are getting it back. We're getting the Jungle Cruise back on July 16th. I am happy about this. What?
Well, no, continue.
And like I said, you've heard me ranting about it before, but ultimately, there's nothing I can do about it.
No.
And I can't let this change how my feeling is or my memory of it.
I will say this and leave it here.
You were wrong.
No. Everything has to be core and heart.
Mm-hmm.
If the main heart and the core of what it was is there, then I'll be okay.
Sure, as long as the jokes are funny and the nonsense is there.
And while we're at it, they also dropped the more extended trailer to the Jungle Cruise movie.
Oh, there was?
Yup. July 30th. So
we've got 2 things to do in July now.
So,
2 movies to see.
Yeah. So now
I'm excited.
My return to the theater. Okay. For everybody who doesn't know, I used to do a movie podcast and a YouTube show.
Yes.
Where I was literally going to the theater, if not once a week, twice a week.
Yeah.
A lot.
That's true.
And now I haven't been to a movie theater since October of 20. No. October of last year. October of last year was the last time I went into a movie theater. And do you know what I saw? I'll give you one guess. You will never guess it.
When was it? October of 2019?
Yeah. Late October.
No. Wait a minute. When did The Rise of Skywalker come out?
No.
When did that come out?
I don't know. I don't remember.
I think that was the last movie I saw.
Okay, that was the last one you saw? Yeah, no.
Probably.
Yeah.
No, but you and I went to go see Avengers or something over here at Endgame. Was that... What came out first? Endgame?
I don't remember.
Okay. I don't know. So, what do you mean? You saw in October?
No.
No, you said in October of 2019? For you?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
No, 2020.
Of 2020?
Mm-hmm.
You saw Goonies.
There you go. You remember.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. 'Cause I knew it was an oddball movie.
Yeah.
Okay.
Amazing movie. Oddball, yes, but amazing. I love
No,
that
I mean
movie.
oddball that was playing at the theater.
Oh yeah. Well, no. It was.
Oh man, I saw it at the theater when it
The
first came out. All right.
The theater was a rented theater. But
Yes,
it was a good time.
we will hold our breath on Jungle Cruise, and I just want it back. I just want it back and have that option. Okay. Smuggler's Run enters hyperspace once again with backstage queue and no pre-show at Disneyland. Can you tell me about this? They weren't doing the Hondo thing?
No. So now we're talking about Smuggler's Run. I will tell you how they're running this one.
Okay. Okay.
So for everybody who's ridden Smuggler's Run, you guys all know that you will come in to the left of the Falcon and then go into the main opening. You know, you'll have your single rider and then your other, normal standby.
Yes.
Now, if you guys recall, you'll go behind, you'll go in, and you'll go behind the Falcon, and then come back around and loop around, and then, okay. So now how they're loading this one as of when I went, they're actually loading from the right of the Falcon, near the big double doors, which head to the backstage. Everybody situated? Okay.
Yes.
So then you will go through there. You're basically loading right in front of the Falcon and going that way. So they basically reverse the line, and you will go through there. You won't go through any of the zigzag or anything.
Yeah.
So you'll kind of going back, and then you head back to where we all would have normally gone in.
Hold on for a second. This sounds like this could be like the single rider line entrance.
No.
Oh.
Yes and no.
Oh, okay.
Single rider, they send you. This, I think, they're sending you up the. Okay. So let me continue, and then you'll know where we're at.
Okay.
Then you go up the ramp, and then you'll hang a hard right, and then you go back to the main entrance, and then you hang a hard button hook and turn back up, and you start going up another pathway.
Yeah.
So as you remember walking normally, you have that big wall to your left. There's a walkway up there, and that is where you're walking. So what you wind up doing is going up that walkway, and then there's another ramp to that you will go up, and that one leads you all the way up there. What that ramp does, it bypasses all the other thing you're used to. Remember that big speeder? As you're going up that ramp and you see the speeder in the middle of the room, and you look to your right, there's a ramp right there, and that is blocked off. Kind of you can see it, but there's no. That is the ramp you walk up.
Okay.
And then you walk up, and they'll put you on and it drops you pretty much right there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
Then you walk through. Yeah. No Hondo. Boom. And you're right there.
The article said that they don't give you the cards anymore right now.
No.
They just tell you you're a gunner or
No. They go walk in and sit where you want to sit.
Oh, okay. So if you're a party of one or two, you by yourself?
Yep.
Interesting.
I was by myself.
You really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And I scored very high. I did.
Okay.
I got both. I went to the asteroids field. I got both cores. For anybody who knows, who's been on it.
Yeah.
I got both. I only lost 200 credits. I think.
Wow, that's good.
In flying. So what they do, which is really good, is that the CMs will basically say, "Hey, there's only one passenger in here," and then the ride itself, the ride vehicle will compensate.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That's
So
built in,
then, so that's built into it. So the navigator's in the back, the gunner, and then the pilot. It will leave you whatever you because when you get in, you have to hit whatever button to activate your station.
Yeah.
So automatically knows where you are, and then it funnels those controls,
Gotcha.
and you keep those controls. You don't have any other control other than yours.
Gotcha. That makes
So it was fun. Yeah, it was fun. I mean, it was by myself, but it was fun. And then I remember walking off, the cast member was like, "Hey, man, we're going to have to hire you again." I'm like, "Thank you." It was pretty fun.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So when you get to the preload station, are you allowed to go sit in that chessboard thing?
Nope. Everything is reduced time in building. Everything. You walk in. So, okay, so for everybody who knows the ride, you go in there, you'll have the Hondo presentation.
That's all part of it, though, man.
Exactly. That's why if you listen to the last episode, we're like, it's kind of a thing because a lot of the show element that makes Disneyland so freaking cool is being bypassed right now because you have to congregate there, watch the show, the pre-show, and then go in. So yeah, you walk right by. I mean, I looked up and Hondo's up there and he's moving around, but nothing enough where you're going to be like, oh, what's he doing? And then on top of that, CM, which they normally do, but the CM's there to make sure you keep on moving, like keep on walking, and you walk through like I said, and then you go there, and then they wait until the ride vehicle is available, and then you walk in. They'll be like, okay, that way they can sort who needs to go where, and the second they sort out which one you're going to go to, they send you right in. And then they'll send you into there, and then you will have the presentation from Hondo, because at that point, you're within your own group.
Okay.
So they figure, okay, you're fine.
Nice.
Yeah. Then you go in. Yeah.
Right on. Speaking of returning dates, I just remembered to say that Matterhorn returns July 2nd. Yes, it does. And they were doing testing. I was watching it. They've got the cars going, the bobsleds going. The waterfalls are not running yet, but the polka music's playing, and the sounds of the clinking and clacking, you can hear it, and the sound. So with that background noise, that must have been suspiciously missing. Like, okay, there's something missing here. And no monorail was going. So the is not there. Yeah. Okay.
I can. You want me to wait? I can go into it. About the Matterhorn and how.
What? Go ahead.
It was a huge hole.
You're telling me? Yeah, of course.
I mean, and for you, the lover of Matterhorn, you know, I mean,
I'm a Matterhorn lover.
Yeah. You would have been like, oh, it would have broke your heart. Because no waterfall. So you can see the back of the waterfall. No sound, no roar, no music, no nothing. It looked dead. Like a big, not to pardon the pun, but a big rock.
A big, right.
And it was sad because even though you're on a mountain, you know, Matterhorn, but it is alive with activity and everything.
Sure.
And when that is removed, you take the soul out of it. So
was it illuminated at night? Nothing.
Nothing.
Oh crud! At least they could throw some blue lights up there.
I think they had the base illuminated, but but I'll be real. We walked by it twice, and I didn't want to walk by it again. Like it bothered me at a very deep core, like because they have the wall, you know, partition up all the way around it, and having just that boarded up, just like it made me. Even though I got everything, you know, I know what's going on, but the feeling, like I said, it just felt dead and not Matterhorn.
Oh.
So I'll be real, I did not want to walk by it too many more times. Like we were coming out of Fantasyland and looked over, and me and Jess kind of paused and went like, like it was funny because her and I had many conversations as we're going through the park about, man, that is weird, or how odd that is, and because we would run across these little things that we don't always think about. And they hit you when they're not there. And Matterhorn's like a big one, like a big, you know, wallop to the side of the head, like, wow.
Yes, for sure.
Anyway, so there you go. Yeah, news is going in the full show now.
Yeah,
so we're just going to keep on going.
That's fine.
Yeah.
So we've got that coming back on July 2nd, and so those of you who want to know what's going on with it, there was some metal fatigue on the tracks, and also there's some structural stuff. That they have to fix, and they have to do it in sections, quadrants. There's no way. What cannot happen is it being demoed and rebuilt. It just they wouldn't be able to do it now in 2022 with the codes and things like that.
Yep.
So,
wasn't there a rumor that people are afraid they're going to retheme it?
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
No, there's no retheming going on with that. I mean, as far as Frozen, no. No, there's metal fatigue in the tracks that's been replaced, and there's also some structural damage that they have to just fix in sections, and it'll probably go down again sometime later this year. I think it gets scheduled in early January, anyways, for a little bit of time. But I would imagine it'll be here for the rest of the year, from July 2nd. All right. Next item is that there's a Schwarma Palace Too, TOO, coming to Hyperion Theater, which is going to be the Schwarma Palace is going to be over in Adventures Campus, and there's going to be like a small satellite place to get smaller or on the to go Schwarma things, and this is going to be in like the queue of the Hyperion Theater is going to be over there, I guess to create social distancing or to create more outdoor eating. So that's great, I guess. I mean, I don't know what to say about that, but that was a news item and nothing much to say about that. The next item is the last item for the show is the Web Slingers, a Spider-Man adventure will use virtual queue system similar to Star Wars Rise of the Resistance. So from that, I think they're going to do the same thing, 7 and 12, 7 a.m. They're going to do it in 12. Is that how it was for Rise of the Resistance? Okay. And if you have a park hopper ticket and your first day and your first part is Disneyland, you're not going to be able to do it. Your park hopper ticket has to be starting at DCA in order for that to work, or a DCA ticket only. So that's what's going on.
And fair.
Yeah, fair. So my question to you, Rudy, is: do you think that this virtual queue technology is something we are going to have to learn to love?
Yeah. I think. Well, okay. But let me clarify that a bit. We are, but I think it's going to be definitely attraction to attraction. So running the virtual queue for Indiana Jones, I get why they're doing it.
Did you guys experience that?
No.
Oh.
No. But I don't think that one is long for the world. I don't. I mean, they were doing it probably to kind of see if they could work it out, but part of the charm of that attraction is the queue. Oh. Now, the Web Slinger one, I don't know. I don't know if you're going to need that for... I just don't see it being a huge draw to that point where they're going to have to do that. Maybe initially, sure. But I think the virtual queue thing is going to be very, very, in my opinion, very, very attraction based. So whatever attraction comes up, maybe they will, because what I do not see is it being like a blanket thing, like all you're going to do is run around and like, okay, I'm going to virtual queue for that one, and then that one, and then that one, and then that one.
Well, that's a fast pass. I mean, that's a max pass.
That is what a max pass is. So I don't see them doing the virtual queue, and that's another reason why, because max pass is an upsell.
Yeah.
Why would they negate? Because then you negate your upsell.
Right.
Because what they cannot do is go, okay, we're going to go everything into a virtual queue, and you got to pay for the virtual queue. They're not going to do that.
No.
Because people would be like, are you mad? You're daft. So.
Well, I just had this strange thought the other day about this, because when I heard this, I was thinking, well, shoot, what if they started doing this for everything? Because if my thought was like, according to Bob Chapek, and he hasn't said this, but he might be thinking this, is that if a guest... I do not want a guest waiting in line for 45 minutes, because if they're waiting in line, that means they're not buying something. Mm-hmm. I'd rather have this guest be buying something, food or merchandise.
I can get that point, but
I don't agree with that. But do you agree with that?
No.
Oh.
I know, and I fully believe that is exactly his mentality, because he's proven it before. Mm-hmm. That being said, though, you can't do that because you will overload. Okay, the one thing that we all, I think, can all recognize, that when you're a day in the park is a balancing act. And not only for us as a park goer, but as the operators, CMs. You got to manage humans and flow and people, and then if you're working in a restaurant, food, supply. There are a lot of things that just work there, but it is a balance. So if you went to a virtual queue, I think you fundamentally offset the balance of people and where they're going to be.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
So if you go to a virtual queue, then you're going to have, okay, then I want all these people, buying stuff. Okay, but then all of a sudden, like, you have an overload there, and then that experience is going to suffer. And I don't think that, like, again, that's why I'm of the mind that they're going to do everything to balance, and it's going to be very much attraction by attraction. Does one need one? Same thing with a fast pass evaluating if it needs a fast pass. I think it is going to go through the same evaluation. Like, does it make sense to have a virtual queue for this attraction? In my opinion now, Rise of the Resistance, they don't need it anymore. I don't think they need it anymore. Well, maybe, okay. let me backtrack that a little bit. If we would have had the normal operating year that we had, like without if from when it opened, and if it would have had a full year of operation like it would have, I think we would have been coming to a point where that virtual queue would have been a thing that they don't need anymore. People would have gone in and queued up and maybe fast passed or whatever, and they would have gone into the normal flow of it. It was great because to manage an overload of interest in the attraction. So I think with anything, with time, will pass and the virtual queue will kind of go like, okay, we don't need virtual queue for Rise anymore.
Oh, right.
And I think for this one, I have a feeling this one's going to go away even quicker.
It might be, yeah. We shall see about that. Okay, so that was actually all the news that we had. I think we did a good job with that. Let's do the quick randomizer before we get on to your review for their stuff. Again, this is doing all... We got to keep one, we got to improve one, we got to ditch one. The top three for this are Monsters, Inc., Mike and Sully to the Rescue, Incredicoaster, and Sailing Ship Columbia. Never have we ever had such an odd selection of attractions. And none of those are related whatsoever. So which makes it all the more challenging. So we have to keep one, we have to ditch one, and we have to improve one. Well, okay. Udi usually goes first, but
I'll go. I'm ready.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. We're going to get rid of, what is it? Monster?
Yeah, Monsters Inc. Yeah.
You can go away now.
Yeah.
It is a cute ride. I've been on it a few.
Yeah.
And I enjoy it. But, yeah, that can go away. Now, the battle becomes, and only because I'm not sure, Columbia and Incredicoaster.
Mm-hmm.
Incredicoaster works, but only at night. Really at night.
Yeah.
I mean, it is a great roller coaster. I mean, it was before when it was fine when it was screaming. Mm-hmm. But it got improved, but only at night. So what I would do, I'm going to keep Columbia. That Sacred Rock. Like,
yes.
I mean, you know the history, and for anybody who has not been on it, please do. Mm-hmm. I mean, you can't yet, but please do.
And also, when you go on it, I'm not going to joke about the cannon thing.
Yeah, don't touch the cannon.
Udi got yelled at. He literally got yelled at for that.
Yeah, because I read the sign and couldn't help myself.
But if you go like below deck, there's an actual museum down there. It's cool. I mean, you can just walk around and see what they have of what living conditions were like for the guests on board of such a ship. Anyways, go ahead.
Okay, and then Columbia. That is why it is an amazing ship. I love that thing. And then Incredicoaster. The only thing that I would modify is find a way to improve that during the day you can have a better feel for it. So I'm not exactly sure. Maybe extend that canopy, because for everybody who doesn't know, the story for the Incredicoaster is that Jack has basically escaped, and they're basically trying to track him down, and they use the Cookie Num Num and different things. There's laser, and at night, that's why at night it is amazing, because you have lasers that you're going to go through. You have, different lighting, and it all adds to it until the very end, where Jack is multiplying. Then during the day, he looks like just these little weird Jacks on a peg. They're like they're very odd looking.
Yeah.
I would hope that is what I would do. I'd improve a way to have, or find a way to try to improve that experience, that day or night, you're going to have that at least a much more similar experience. So that would be my change. And the only thing I could think of is maybe maybe add like a big dome, or like over the last part, like, because you're going up and down, and maybe, because like I said, you kind of go into these tunnels that have that effect. Why don't you add that towards the end, or maybe alter the end where you don't need to have these weird little Jacks multiplying. Like, find a better way to have him multiplying. Yeah. And to me, that would be the only real improvement that you need for Incredicoaster. I mean, it is a fun attraction to get on.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't want to sound repetitive here, because it's almost the same thing. Yeah, I would get rid of Monsters, Inc. for sure. I just don't particularly care for it. It's a cute ride, but I don't even think twice about going on it. If we happen to be there and there's a short wait and the girls want to go on or something, yeah, okay, we'll go on it. But I definitely don't plan my day around that ride. The sailing ship Columbia is essential to the history of the park. And it's just beautiful to have. I don't even know how I would even improve it. You don't think you can. So it has to leave it as is. And so the last one is the Incredicoaster. And like Udi had mentioned, at night that thing is super, super fantastic and it's fun. And it really, really works. But in the daytime, a lot of the effects are just lost. It's just like, okay. So like Udi said, that last part, if maybe you went through a tunnel or something, that actually would be a little more impressive, I think, because a lot of it's just lost there. But other than that, I love the idea that you, at the very end, you can go buy your own Num Num cookie. And
which you couldn't.
You can't do that now? Okay, well, at some point you will be able to. Maybe June 15th you will be able to.
I would hope.
Yeah.
The magic date.
The magic date. So that's what I would do with that. Exactly what Udi said for the randomizer. Let's just see what the next three would be. Jesse's Critter Carousel, Buzz Lightyear Astro Blasters, and Splash Mountain. Okay, we're not going to that.
Wait,
those.
What?
Jesse's Critter Carousel.
Okay.
Buzz Lightyear's Astro Blasters or Splash Mountain.
That's kind of funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
The two of those I would get rid of immediately.
I know. I'm like, okay, bye-bye.
Okay. So that is the news and the randomizer. So now we're going to talk about Udi has any more thoughts about, I guess this is our feature presentation.
And now for our feature presentation.
Okay, so our feature presentation here, Udi has some follow-up thoughts regarding his trip last month, or a couple weeks ago.
Yep.
But I did want to mention that Adventures Campus was just now added to the Disneyland app. So we're looking at it right now. Wow, there's no wait time for anything. That's strange. But all the food prices and things are on the menu for the restaurants. It looks great, as we previewed it before. Nothing was surprising to us because we talked about it. But the one thing that I wasn't sure about was at this Pim's Test Kitchen, because there was a side thing for drinks. So you can get something at the Pim Test Lab, which is it's their bar, and it's just adjacent to the restaurant, and the prices are $15 and under for these drinks, and these look a lot like things that you would find at Olga's Cantina, which is not operational. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. So, but there's a lot of cool things here that I know I would probably try. I know that Udi would probably try some of these too. In fact, I know he would. So that looks great. And let's see. So we sort of have a map of where things are. And we don't know what you're going to be able to do at Adventures headquarters yet. Probably maybe a meet and greet. It's unknown what that is. But the Schwarma Palace, you're not able to see it?
I'm looking for it right now. I don't know why. Oh, I know why. My fault.
Okay. Oh, Schwarma Palace is coming soon. No, wait a minute. Okay. So the menu, breakfast. Oh, there's only breakfast there and snacks. See, we didn't see this before. Falafel, New York's tastiest chicken shawarma wrap with coconut yogurt, tahini sauce. I would try all this stuff. Oh, you can get the Iron Man gauntlet. Oh, let me ask you about that real quick.
Okay.
What do you think about the upgrade? So, listeners, they are selling an upgrade for this Web Slingers thing. So when you go on the attraction, it comes with something you can use.
Yeah.
But you can buy an additional one I think there's 3 or 4 versions. I think they start at like 34 and then go to like 54 or something. Maybe there's 3 versions.
Yeah, I haven't looked at them.
But you can buy them and it has like a triple shot or like a rapid shot or something like that.
Yeah.
What do you think about that concept?
At one end, I'm kind of like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
The other end, I'm like, okay, dumb.
Why is it dumb?
And only for because I don't know how many people are really going to fork up money for that.
If you were like 9 and
well,
yeah, you would want that, right?
Well, the funny part, yeah. And the thing is, I was about to make the comment, like when I go with my family and my nephew goes,
yeah.
Oh yeah, one of those is coming home.
Oh,
I mean, and the funny part would be like probably one for my nephew and one for my brother because my brother is a huge Spider-Man guy.
Oh, that's awesome.
So yeah, for me, I'm like,
besides your family, out of all your Disneyland crew, who is most likely to buy that? I have an idea. Who's most likely to buy that? Who is most likely to buy a Spider-Man Web Slinger add-on?
I wanna say Joe.
That's exactly why I say Joey is
but I don't know though. Part of me goes yeah, and the other part goes maybe not.
No, I think he will buy one.
Okay.
He's like, I mean, and I hope he does because I want to see what it's all about. Okay, so the Schwarma stuff looks pretty cool, but the map gives us a really good indicator of how things are going to flow and whatnot. And yeah, I'm super stoked. So you've got 3 entrances, right? You've got one through Cars Land, it looks like. Mm-hmm. And then did we ever figure out where that Mystic Port thing is? Oh, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you'll find the ancient sanctum right there.
Oh, yes. Of course, that's what I'm talking about. Mystic Port, or also known as the ancient sanctum.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I really, really was kind of hoping that I would be able to maybe catch a glimpse of it, but no.
Oh.
And partly my fault because that one little third path that you have right there, you can walk there. Right after Luigi's.
How far can you go?
You can go almost all the way to the main entrance there.
Can you see the A on the ground?
Yeah.
You can walk over the A? Oh, nice.
No, you can't walk over the A, but you can walk up pretty much to there.
Okay.
And I never made it over there because I really want to.
Okay. The merchandise shop looks kind of cool. But I mean, I think I'm looking forward to seeing this.
I am too.
And
I'm really kind of. Yeah.
I was looking forward to it last summer too.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Hey, did you know that there's video of that Quinjet doing stuff? Yes.
Really?
At night, someone has a video of it like lighting up and smoking and revving or something.
I sent you pictures of it lit up at night.
Yeah, but it was like the engine was on or something.
Oh, they will do that for the X-Wing at Galaxy's Edge. Yeah, that kind of thing.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yep.
Huh, okay.
So cool, definitely, but yeah, not unique.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I guess we're not spending a lot of time on Adventures Campus because so the food, we already went through all the food. The prices look pretty reasonable, to be honest. And I know there's a $100 sandwich, but that got so blown out of proportion. It's $100 for eight people, but you can buy a slice for $14.99. The chicken sandwich is $15. Some of these menu items are pretty dang funny. That pretzel. We got to get the pretzel, right?
Where we at?
At lunch and dinner at the Pim's Test Kitchen. Remember that giant?
Oh yeah.
Pretzel.
The Atomic Fusion? No, not that one. The Quantum Pretzel.
They sell those beer. I've had the pretzel from the beer garden.
I have too.
With the beer cheese.
Yeah, they're amazing.
Oh my gosh, listeners! Jess works at a beer garden, and they sell these crazy pretzels there. Warm pretzels, big ones, but this cheesy beer sauce.
Which makes me want to go get one right now.
Yeah. Calculated breakfast. E times 2 plus B and P and T, which is probably 2 eggs and
bacon and potato.
Yeah, with toast, something like that.
Or toast.
Okay, yeah, something like that. Ever expanding Cinepim toast. Okay, this is all awesome stuff. We don't know if it's going to be a sit down or what. But anyways, enough about that. So, Adventures Campus is now on Disney Parks app. Go check it out at your leisure. Udi, let's talk about your trip. We had a listener ask Jennifer.
Right.
What are you smirking about?
Nothing. A whole other thing. I'm like,
oh,
the trip. No, I'm. It was good. Like I'm, having that run through in my head, like overall.
But Jennifer did ask, "What was your best moment?" And then, of course, I have to ask, "What's his worst moment?" Because that's how I am. That's how I think about things.
I'm gonna go with a couple of my best moments were walking back through and going under the bridge, looking at the plaque, and then making that first turn down Main Street. It kind of had that resonance of being home, and then having all that kind of flood back, and then realizing how much everything means to you. A lot of people, the funny part is when we talk about the park, and every couple of weeks, and we get together and we have our LTP family, and we have our the commonality of the park. The funny thing is, a lot of my family, not my direct family, because for the most part they get it. My brother was kind of pissed that I even was like, dude, you didn't even see if I wanted to go. I'm like, I didn't control that part of the things, like whatever. But
would he have gone?
He might have.
Ooh, Alvarado's in the park.
Oh yeah, we have not been in the park as a family in a long time. But they having that, trying to explain to other people. I had one of my aunts talking, and she's like, "Oh, what are you doing?" I'm like, "Oh, I'll be going to Disneyland in a week or two," or whatever it was at the time. And she kind of goes, and she kind of laughed. She's like, "You and your Disneyland." And I kind of went, "Yeah." I go, when was the last? I go, I know she's been there. I've been there with her, but it was a long time ago. And I go, "Yeah, but when was the last time?" You go, "Oh no, it's been a couple years." I'm like, "I think you maybe need to go again." And then I go, and then if you go, maybe you need to bring me along. But, it's hard to explain. So everybody that I'm talking to right now who is a lover of the park, when I say, yeah, turn on to Main Street, I think everybody goes like, oh yeah. Like, I know you get it, Mark. And I think, again, most of our listeners, if not all of them, will know exactly that moment of that feeling of turning onto Main Street, looking down, seeing that partner statue, and then further on to the castle. That was probably one of my best moments, just walking in, and I was live on our Instagram at that moment, and I was like quiet because I took everything in. Just didn't need to, try to add to it or put any color, like, oh, look at that, and none of it, because I was like, these are the moments in life where you take it in. So that was probably one of my favorites. Another thing was being able to ride on Rise of the Resistance with yet another group of people who had never been on. I'm having so much fun doing that because I've had the opportunity to have been on there quite a few times in that thing. So having the time of sitting there with, it was Jess, her mom, and her aunt, and her mom sat next to me, and she loved it, and it was great. Like, she was definitely afraid of the drop. There's a drop for everybody who doesn't know. We're coming to the drop, and she put her arm, like, wrapped her arm around my arm, holding on to me.
So she knew it was
for the
coming
drop.
up?
Yeah, she looked at me. She looked at Jess because Jess was next to me, and she was like, "This is it, isn't it?" And I kind of grinned. I went, "Maybe." And then she held on my arm tight, and then you go through the drop, and then we finished, and we kind of went like, "See." So she had a great time. So that was another good time. And then having her, that to me, if you know the Far family, man, their family with Disney, her mom, her, her aunts, her cousins, and her nieces, and it's a very unique. Well, not very unique, but it is great to see like that family bind or family tie, but they're all bound by that, and it means something special in their own family, and so to be there and have that around is great. Having generational change, and like the same thing with you, Mark. When you go, and when I've been with you with your daughters, seeing that generational handoff of like you love the park and you've given that to your daughters. Yeah. So having that around and being in that presence just made that even better. Being around again, having your family, and like we have the LTP family, but then when you have blood. And then I've known Jess for 12 years, so I've known her mom.
It's got to be longer than that, because I've known you for 11.
Oh, maybe it is longer.
It's got to be, yeah.
I don't know. Too long either way. Anyway, you get it. But so having that and having her there, and then being there with her family and having both her two aunts there, definitely added to it. So being able to ride that and then being there with Mary's first ride and seeing all that, and then her other aunt too. Oh my God. Just great people. Just people who love the park, love being there, and they get it. And so just having that commonality with it. So that was good too.
Did you guys enter Galaxy's Edge the right way?
Yes. Now I will tell you about that. So, we were walking, and then
listeners might be going, wait a minute. I thought there are 3 entrances.
There are 3. Now, the best way to go in, and I've said it before, and I will continue to say because I feel it will not change. The best way, and especially for those of you who have not had the opportunity to go yet and go visit Galaxy's Edge yet, because there are many out there who haven't.
Yes.
And you know what I'm talking about. Go through Critter Country. Use that entrance. You may be tempted to use a Fantasyland because that is a quick shot in there.
Or the Frontierland one.
Even Frontierland, but I think even Fantasyland is a quicker way to get in there.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Don't do it.
Don't do that. Take the time and take the walk and go down the Critter Country entrance.
Yep.
It is amazing. So we did that. So, me being me, I'm just like, this is just the way we're going to go. And we'd come out of Haunted, and we started walking. Our time was up. Our queue came up. Our party came up. And we all know the exhilaration. I'm like, yeah, let's go. Because Jess, I swear to God, dude, it was so funny. With Jess, we were both, more than I. We're going, and she pop up the app. Where are they at? She was monitoring how the parties were moving, and so we basically made a game. We started betting like how accurate she would be. Like, okay, by the time we're off of here, we're off of this attraction. They should be at this one to that one. I'm like, okay. So we did that until our boarding party came up. It was pretty funny, and she kept on looking at it like, okay.
You were on Mansion when you got it? Same as the first time, the very first time.
Oh, yeah.
That was hilarious.
That's pretty funny. Yeah, and then okay, so we went walking, and then we went, and I kept on walking, and we're walking up, and then as we're walking, and then I see, Jess's mom and her aunt, they're kind of looking around, because I've said it before, you go in there and you hit that train trestle, and it's like a wall. A curtain just boom opens up as you go in, and they're kind of started looking around like, oh. And we kept on walking. Then we got to Rise. And this was, one of those moments where they were kind of like, I've never been this way.
Oh, right. Yep.
And I went like, yeah. They're like, oh my goodness. I'm like, yeah. I go, this is why I always tell people. And then her mom, just mom.
But they hadn't been to Galaxy's Edge at all?
They had, but they went in through Fantasyland.
Oh,
They went in through Fantasyland, went in and would ride the smugglers or whatever, and then they would leave.
No,
they never got the full. So I'm like, okay, now because you're with me, And then even Jess, much to her chagrin, she likes the land. I mean, kind of.
Yeah.
But she likes Rise. But I think it was more like with her mom. Again, we're all there. And we walked it. And we actually walked it. We went into the bazaar, and they were like, "Oh my god!" And they were like, "I didn't even know half of this was here."
Yeah.
So yeah, that was great too.
That way, for listeners who, some of you have not gone to Galaxy's Edge. I know Jose, I don't think has yet. But other listeners out there, just do yourself a favor and go through the Critter Country side by Hungry Bear, because the whole story of Galaxy's Edge literally unfolds before you, coming from that direction. You walk through, you walk under the train trestle, and all of a sudden everything changes. The music's different or gone, really, and then you're in a remote area. Then you keep walking, and then you see things way out in the distance that becken you, and you go, "What's this? What's this?" And the whole thing. It's a build up to what is, the big climax of the land, which is, I guess it could be the Millennium Falcon area, that part there, because Rise is you can't tell what that is.
No,
it's hidden under rock and waterfall
by
and
design.
Trees. Yeah. But just do yourself a favor and just build yourself out, build up the story till you get to that. Okay, so that is a good point of that. Were they selling popcorn at the carts there? Okay, I didn't think so.
Wait. They were okay. You could get popcorn, but it was very limited as to where.
Okay.
It wasn't like before you could like throw a stick and hit three popcorn vendors.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was, from what I recall, 2. One on Main, one at the hub, and then Tomorrowland.
Do you happen to know if they're selling any popcorn boxes or like
they
the ears, or were they
here
selling,
is a one
selling
thing,
like the blue ones, the blue Mickey head?
No, they
popcorn
were
bucket.
The popcorn bucket. They were selling the Cinderella's
the
carriage.
Yeah.
And then they had Mickey ear one or something like that. The one that I am mad because I forgot to go get is I wanted to get the one from Onward.
Oh, the van.
The van. They had it still.
Oh.
And I'm like, I want to buy that.
Yeah, that one's really cool. Yeah.
And then I'm like, and then I just forgot to go back and get it because I was going to buy it. Because I have a spot on my shelf. I know exactly where I put it. I love that van. And the reason why I love that van is because I'm a kid of the 80s. And then I grew up in a Hispanic neighborhood, so if you guys know anything, a lot of vans with paint jobs on the side of them, they're very, very common. Very common.
Yep. Okay.
Yep.
So, overall, though, you had a great time and looking forward to going back again.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, there...
Do you think Jess is too?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think overall the concern I had was going to be was how is the protocols that we've been put under, how is it going to affect the overall feel of the park? How's it going to affect the interaction between CMs and guests, and then how is that going to affect the interaction between guests themselves?
Right.
So I would be lying if I said that there was no effect. There was a very clear effect. One of the I'll go into the negative. I'll go negative right now.
Sure.
The biggest parts that you have to be aware of that were horribly affected was the food. Now, if you're not a food person and don't care about Disney food, then you're going to be like, oh. The one thing though, and in your mind you're going, doesn't bother me. This is where I'm going to tell you it will bother you because of what they have to do, and I mentioned it last episode because of the indoor seating. Now, hopefully, again with the magic date of June 15 coming up, that the restrictions will be lifted at some level. I don't know. Again, no idea how Disney's going to react to those and what they're going to implement or not implement. I don't know.
Yeah.
Or at this time, I don't know. So that is affecting the overall landscape of the park. You have people sitting in areas you're not used to, benches and chairs and the whole. If you guys follow me on Instagram. I have a picture of me enjoying my wonderful Jack and Coke. Oh my gosh. That was another good moment. Finally drinking one that I had not had in over a year, and I'm because I've had other Jack and Cokes, but no, something about that that is the absolute perfect mixture. Anyway, but designated dining area on a bench, little things like that, like you don't think about, like why you have to have that everywhere.
You do. Jess had mentioned that, like, just to get a bottle of water, you have to make like a reservation.
Yeah,
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's crazy, and luckily for her, she found a CM that was kind of like, okay, yeah, I get. So like, it wasn't hot when we were there. Not in any. It was, the weather was up and down our first day there.
It was raining.
Yeah, it rained in the morning, which was another amazing. I'm like, okay, we're washing everything clean, but we all know how I love the park when it rains anyway.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I like looked at them all. It's kind of perfect. But yeah, then we ran across. Luckily, she ran across. CM was like, oh no, okay, you only want water? Okay, well, we'll do this real quick, and accommodated her. But yeah, everything was on a window, and that to me, you can't. It affected the things that it affected in such a huge way. The food, again, things that you don't think about. Mm-hmm. How many people really, I mean, unless you're really foodie and just love the food, which is good, but if you don't think about that, as it's going to affect you regardless. Right. So, yeah, and you don't think about it otherwise. You wouldn't think about it otherwise. But yeah, it will definitely affect you, even for a thing of water. A lot of the normal carts, like you would just run across for popcorn, like we were talking about. Yeah. Anything, all that gone. When you have to wait in line in a window for 2.5 hours for a time window for a corn dog to pop up. Right. All not good. Sure. All negatively affecting.
Well, I mean, but again, they don't have the staff yet to do all this stuff.
Yeah.
So
you understand what is going on.
Yeah, yeah.
That is one of the other reasons why I'm like I got mad, but it was for like a millisecond because, again, I'm like, okay, recognize where you are. Yeah. And that all of these changes, like it would be a different story if this was just like, okay, this is the new Disney. I would have been like, no. No,
it's just temporary Band-Aid until we get through where we need to be.
Exactly. Yeah. And again, I maybe, looking for confirmation bias, whatever, but I was constantly looking for, is this a permanent thing? Do you have that feel? And none of it, hardly any of it felt like it was a permanent thing. Everything looked like there were kind of, even the tape markers on the ground, the 6-foot markers. Yeah. They're tape. Mm-hmm. Those can get scraped right up and washed off. Yeah. They're all, I mean, everyone you went to, that's why I'm like, oh man, like, automatically we go into like, well, theming wise, shouldn't this barrier that, the border tape look a little bit different? And then, but no. And so that's why you're at that point where like it's breaking up theming, it's breaking up feel because you have to do that. But then I'm like, but yeah, look at it. They can rip all this out like tomorrow and would go right back to normal. So that is one thing. Like again, for people, recognize what you're signing up for. Mm-hmm. I mean, that is the one thing that like I realize. Okay, the mask. I'm gonna go my little diatribe on the mask real quick. Okay, masks suck.
Oh yeah.
I mean that's it. Up and down. No, I'm kidding. The mask mandate and having to wear one. I thank my lucky stars that the weather cooperated when we were there. Mm-hmm. Because I could not, like, what do we have today up here? We were at, 80, 85 today up here?
Yeah, next week's 100.
Yeah. So, oh, good. I'll be on rooftop. Anyway, I won't go there. But it was 85. Mm-hmm. If I would have been in 85-degree temperature with a mask on, I don't know if I would have made it. I dare say I would have been like, and I'm going to walk out of the park off property. Just for that moment, I can yank my mask off for a while.
Yeah, I don't know of actually anyone who really enjoys wearing a mask.
No. And if you do...
Well, actually, there probably are a few people that actually enjoy it. But I don't know any of them.
No, I don't know any, yeah.
Anyways, I think the masking will be an optional, a guest option at some point, which is, which I assume we'll see by mid-summer. So things overall are looking good at the park, and like I said, if you just manage your expectations for what it is right now, and then just a few more weeks, we're going to have it back, and then in a few more months, it's going to be rolling. Yep. We have not heard any dates for Halloween stuff yet, or any special nights. I guess it's too early for that kind of date night things.
Oh man, and
What?
I want them to come back because,
Yeah.
I mean, the way I feel now is we're beginning to have those, the twinkling lights the lights are starting to twinkle. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, when you have, there was another, how did I forget about this? Another highlight. I got to see the lights come on in Cars Land. God, it's so
did you?
great. Oh, yeah. I love that. And the thing is, I grabbed my phone, and then I was going to record it, and then I caught, I didn't hit the button right because it is such a great sight. So, yeah. So, I'm going to use that analogy. For anybody who's been down Main Street or Cars Land when the lights come on.
Oh, yeah.
Or in the park in general when you have that switch over. I feel like that's where we're at. We're at the beginning part where we're beginning to have the lights just start kind of turn on. Like you can start seeing everything, but you're not seeing the full picture yet.
Oh, right.
That is where I feel we're at. We're at that initial point of the lights beginning to come on. And when they fully come on, we're being like, there's our park. This is where we're here. This is why we love it.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, overall positivity. And, again, CM's fantastic. And a shout-out to all of you CMs if you happen to hear our show. Thank you, guys. Thank you. If you have been out of work and you're back, I'm so excited and happy for you. For everybody who is back, CMs, I'm happy you guys are there. Mm-hmm. You are the lifeblood, the heartbeat of that park. And without you guys, that park doesn't go.
Absolutely, 100% correct.
And it was great to have that. And it, like I said, Jess and I were always nice, and we love talking to CMs, but we both kind of went out of our way to be extra, above. I was calling everybody by their name. Hey, Joe, how you doing? How's it going today? Oh, we're doing good today. Coming off of the train, one of the conductors was Joe. That was Joe. I'm like, thank you, Joe. Thanks for the ride. He's like, have a good day, folks. Just talking to him because I'm like, how good must it be for them to be back and doing what they're doing? Why not make it pleasant and let them know, hey, I appreciate what you do, and I'm glad I'm back, and I'm glad you're back, and I'm glad we're all here again enjoying it. So, yeah. And again, for everybody, just go out of your way. I mean, I have complete and utter faith in our listeners are that type of park goer. But just another thing, I know you're going to be caught up in that moment of enjoying the park again and being happy to be back in, but, when you see him, just say thank you.
Yeah. There you go. Just reminded me to say something before we wrap it up here. The park hours are currently till 9 p.m. every day. 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. at Disneyland until June 30th is 9 p.m. Starting July 1st, park opens another hour later till 10.
Very cool.
So the only dates that are available right now until the 8th of July, and every date's until 10 o'clock. So I suspect that's going to probably August. We're going to get more of the 10, or maybe you'll see some 11s or midnights in there, maybe on weekends. Listeners, there was a day when the park was closed on Mondays and Tuesdays. Just remember that. Anyways, so all good things. Okay. All right. Awesome. So that's going to wrap up episode number 134. 135, we're going to have Jess back, of course, and we'll try to have a guest on. I'm working on a few different guests to get on. I've got two people that I have on the line.
Yeah, okay.
Yep. So, yeah, that's going to wrap that up. If you would take a moment and give us a rating on whatever media platform you're listening to, stars or likes or whatever it is, and leave a review, would help us in the algorithm. We would definitely appreciate that. And again, if you want to support us, leaving us a tip or something, that's your favorite coffee place, you can do that on Patreon and go to leavingtodaypodcast.com, click on the Patreon logo, or on Instagram, go to Linktree, and it's all there as well. Udi, where can people find you?
You can find me on my socials, which are Instagram and Snapchat. I am officially going to be killing my Twitter.
Oh, gotcha.
Twitter is a cesspool, and I don't want to deal with it anymore.
Yeah, I'm not a big Twitter guy.
Yep. Anyway, so those are HAXGOALIE, Hax Goalie, both of those.
Awesome. And you can follow us at Instagram at Leaving Today Podcast. Also, our Facebook is Leaving Today Podcast. And if you want to send us an email, some people do sometimes, it's info@leavingtodaypodcast.com. And lastly, if you are a Patreon listener or supporter and you are a former pass holder, that makes you a legacy pass holder, please hit us up. We might have something for you. All right. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day or evening on your commute, whatever, to spend time with us. It means everything to us. We hope to see you guys at the park. Jose, let us know when you and your family are coming out. We will go down for that for sure. That doesn't happen very often. So we'll make sure we'll do that. All right. We love you, and adventurers out there. See you in the parks.
See ya.
Disneyland is now in its normal operating day. We hope you enjoy your visit to the Magic Kingdom and that the memories you've made will bring you back again soon.
So here, I'm
We
going
need
to
to
tell
figure-
Mark. I'm going to tell Mark the plan here.
Oh, there's a plan.
Yeah,
Wait, which plan?
the one because you're going to be on live.
My body's just stiff. Think of a banana.
Does it help? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Always does. Every time. Don't ask me why. Why are you throwing up? You trying to eat all your food before your sister does? Now you can eat that.
Gouda,
Well, hello.
Gouda, come get your Gouda. We'll give it a bit.
Yeah, give it a second.
Okay. Woo! Good?
Thank you.
You're welcome. No bed sheets.
Why are you yelling at me?
Because I like yelling at you.
But you
Yeah.
make me hot. It's so close, I can feel it.
Kitty.
It's like a breath of fresh air.
Boy, was my face red.
Can we do that again?